What is up, movie viewers? Dena Views and Reviews here, asking, what you watching? Well, today I am watching Leave the World Behind, starring Julia Roberts, Ethan Hawke, Mahershala Ali, Mahala Harold, Farrah McKenzie, and Kevin Bacon. It is written by Sam Esmail, directed by Sam Esmail, produced by Michelle and Barack Obama, Chad Hamilton, Daniel Steelman, Sam Esmail, Lisa Roberts, Ruben Alam, Marissa Years Gill, Tanya Davis, and Nick Krishnamurthy. Wow, wow, wow. This movie, Leave the World Behind, is a very interesting, suspenseful thriller and post apocalyptic drama. Although interesting, it is so full of inconclusive anomalies. Anomalies that leaves you throughout the entire movie with the question, what the hell is really going on here? Now, it opens with Amanda Stanford, who is played by Julia Roberts. She works in advertising, and she and her husband are in their bedroom. He awakes one morning, and she informs him, and his name is Clay. Of course, he is played once again by Ethan Hawke, that she wants to go on a family getaway immediately. She's watching people from her Brooklyn, New York apartment. She's watching them as the hustle and the bustle of the people, as she exclaims. And she says, I freaking hate people. She goes on to inform her husband that she has rented for them, her husband, and her two children, ages 16 and 13, 16-year-old son and 13-year-old daughter, a lavish house in Long Island for a weekend escape. Now they leave immediately and find themselves on the beach. They're enjoying the sand and the ocean when all of a sudden an oil tanker begins to come toward them, and they're thinking surely it's going to stop. And the husband is like, don't worry, it's going to stop. But it doesn't. And the oil tanker comes ashore and almost hits them. And it is assumed that it is the faulty navigation that is behind it. Isn't that a very odd occurrence? Then they find themselves back at the rental property. And after putting the children to bed, they're discussing what they witnessed. When late that night, there's a knock upon the door. They open it to find a black man standing there with a young woman. It turns out to be GH and his young daughter Ruth. And he explains to them that he is the owner of the property in which they are staying in. It's a rental house. And he informs them that New York City is experiencing a major power outage and they would like to stay there. Amanda is having a problem with this. She's like, I've rented this. What are you doing here? She's very distrustful of the two strangers, and that is understandable. However, it is clear that she was possessing just a little bit of racial insensitivity with her responses to GH. When he responded that it was his house, she's like, this is your house? As if she would be surprised that a black man would own such a luxurious and decorated home, very expensive, that it would be owned by a black man. She is unable to verify his identity over the internet because both the internet and the phone service were out. So she was not able to identify him, but her husband convinces her to let this couple come in, and they are downstairs. They go downstairs. He's very familiar with the house, and he decides to stay in the apartment downstairs. But it turns out GH is a wealthy financial planner, and through his powerful clients, he has connections. So he was able to follow his intuitions that told him that something might be amiss. And this is why they find themselves there. GH clearly has some inside information that leaves him worried about what is happening, even though he is not completely convinced that there is some kind of possible threat to society in general by an outside group or another country. His daughter Ruth is not so convinced. She picks up on Amanda's racial biases and she responds to her as such. But many strange events are occurring around these people. There are animals behaving erratically, cyber attacks around them, and rogue Teslas, and their neighbors behaving odd. One in particular is locked and he's loaded and he's prepared to protect himself and his family from the unknown threat, from whether it's an invader or just another neighbor or someone inside the country, which is understandable. But the Sanfords, um, Amanda and Clay, they have a daughter by the name of Rose. And she has a very strange interaction with some deers that are in the backyard of the house. There are hundreds there that seem to just stand and stare at her. And she's staring back at them. They're just standing there and staring. They're acting very eerie. And she has this complete obsession with watching Friends, the TV show Friends, and which is odd because the show actually ended before she was ever even born. And then the next day, the husband attempts to find more information as to what is going on with this power outage and this blackout. And he's trying to get information from the locals as to what is going on. But while he is out and about, there are leaflets being dropped from a drone that is written in Arabic that says "Death to America." But why all of these strange events are happening and taking place around this home leaves you sitting on the edge of your seat. I mean, it is an interesting movie. You're screaming. You can't wait. You're biting your nails asking what is going on and who is behind it. And this is why I had to give this movie a 3-star, because it is very interesting. It pulls you in and takes your full attention. You're just anxious to find out why all of this weird stuff is going on. What is happening? Why are the characters responding as they are to the events, strange events that are occurring around them? And how would you respond to it? And all through the movie, you're just asking and filled with anticipation to find out what exactly is going on and who in the heck is behind it. And unfortunately, after you watch the movie, you're still left wondering what is going on and who is behind it, leaving you, though, with this feeling of what if? It is a quite interesting movie. Leave the World Behind is rated R, and if you would like to check this movie out, you most certainly can, because it is now streaming on Netflix. This has been Dena Views and Reviews, reminding you to subscribe, like, and share your view on this movie, and be sure to join me weekly for my next movie review and or recommendation. And I want you to remember, it's my view. Now, what you watching?